Welcome in, everybody. I hope you had an amazing weekend. It's Shelby. I'm your favorite 71% successful grant writer. In this live stream, actually, we're going to go over a $100,000 grant. I'm so excited to go over this $100,000 grant. It's actually a pitch competition. I want to tell you what a grant is, how you can find small business grants, and also how you can be best prepared for them, how to actually apply. So there are some specific questions that they ask on the grant applications that I want to make sure that you are properly prepared for these opportunities. And then also we're going to walk through the $100,000 grant opportunity. And then there's two others that I wanted to talk about as well. Don't worry, friend, if you don't want to sit through this entire live stream because you have things to do, that's fine. Don't worry, I'm actually going to this week drop some new short videos for you so you can have access to this free information that I'm giving you. Now, I dedicate my time, I've dedicated the last 6 to 7 years on giving you guys free information about small business grants because me, myself, I've taken out a $200,000 SBA loan. I had to pay it back, and grants actually helped me pay my business debts back. I'm also a person that had to go through the challenges, financial challenges of COVID, just like everybody else in the world. But small business grants was still accessible and available for us as entrepreneurs. And I was able to get a lot of money in small business grant money for myself. And I've won millions of dollars in grant money for my clients over the last 11 years of having the experience to do this. So you're speaking to an 11-year experience grant writer here and small business development coach. I am very good. I'm blessed with the wisdom to be able to strategize with you all and also help you all start making sales. In 2026, these small business funding opportunities, they want to fund businesses that are actually showing traction. So showing traction could be something like making sales, getting email signups, or getting any, like having any customer or client feedback. So in this live stream, let me teach you all about what you need to have. We'll go over this $100,000 grant opportunity. If you are joining me live, please, if you will, like the live stream, just tap the thumbs up button as you are coming in, so that way the YouTube algorithm can actually push out this grant live stream to all other entrepreneurs who's looking for this information, okay? And thanks so much for joining me this morning. I hope you guys are having a great start to your Monday morning. This is the second week of February. We are already like blasting through February. It's only 28 days in this month, the shortest month of the year. So let's make all 28 days of February actually count. Now we're on the week of Valentine's Day. All right. So for those of you who are interested in, like, getting some grant writing services, affordable grant writing services for your significant other who you know that is starting a business or already has a business, I have a Grantfully grant writing sale for just $37. I will submit a grant application for you. Okay, so if that's something you're interested in, I have all the information in the description below. You can also scan this QR code right here on your screen, and it will take you directly to the $37 promo deal. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. I love an interactive chat. This gives you the ability to ask me any questions or curiosities that you might have about small business grants. So please, if you will, use me for free right now live on YouTube and ask any questions that you have about grants or your grant writing experience so I can best give you clarity on how to, win these grants, okay? All right, so thank you so much, everybody. I just want to say thank you. Good morning to everybody who came in. So, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We have good morning, Miss Shelby, and everyone in the world. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. And good morning. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. $90 billion on the table, small business grant owners. Matter of fact, 89% of you guys don't apply to small business grants. This $100,000 grant opportunity can be in your business bank account. You will need to have a business bank account in order for you to have access to small business grants. No, they're not going to put the small business grant reward $100,000 in your personal account. That's fraud. They are going to want to put it inside of your business bank account. In addition to that, grantors want to make sure that you are doing business correctly. You should not be mixing your personal accounts with your business accounts. So for those of you who don't have a business bank account, don't worry, stay in this live stream. We're going to go over another $10,000 grant opportunity with a bank that you can actually start open up today and have the ability to access this $10,000 grant we're going to go over, okay? The $100,000 grant is the first one I'm going to go over, then I'll go over that one. Okay? All right, awesome. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. All right, so let's get over the spiel. All right. Of course, I always get this frequently asked question: what is a small business grant? If you actually Google a small business grant, what is a small business grant? The definition will come up and it will say a small business grant is a reward, usually in the form of money that you can receive from a business entity, a private investor or private sector, and state and local funded. Now, a business entity will be like Amazon, Home Depot, Macy's, Sephora, Starbucks, all of these big companies, they actually give out small business grants to entrepreneurs so they can support us and we can be able to support our community. Okay, so they do that. We can also get state funded grants. So, what state funded grants look like is, let's say, for example, you live in Miami. I'm based out of Miami-Dade County. And they might be giving out grants, $10,000 grants to all women entrepreneurs that are their businesses are based out of Miami-Dade County. Now, what happens is the federal government actually gives hundreds of millions of dollars to your state, and your state actually creates specific grant programs that are targeted towards the community and entrepreneurs. So those are state-funded grants. And then last but not least, private funded grants. So these are grants that come from places like Hello Skip, I Fund Women, the Fearless Fund. Sometimes there's a couple of other ones out there. Generative, right? These are investors that actually give out grant opportunities in addition to investment capital. Hello Skip is a federally certified nonprofit organization, so you can download the Hello Skip app. It's actually a small business resource tool. The whole purpose of this Hello Skip app is to give you resources and like funding opportunities. Okay, so you can download Hello Skip. This is actually one of the best platforms, I would say, if you have never applied to grants before. They actually have a dashboard, a funding dashboard, where you can have access to a few grants that you might qualify to, and you can apply directly through their platform. So they have AI incorporated with it and everything to help you with your answers. So Hello Skip, if you have never submitted a grant application before, go with Hello Skip and get the experience. Experience is the best teacher when we're talking about submitting grant applications. Now, when we're talking about winning, friend, winning, okay, you're entering yourself in the leagues, okay? And Super Bowl was just like over the weekend. So where we're talking about actually getting to the Super Bowl, the championship of winning these big ticket grants, like $100,000, $200,000, $400,000, and even millions of dollars in grant opportunities, you are entering in the actual competitions. And so you need to make sure you are properly prepared for those type of grants. So being professionally prepared, we can go over the 7 things that you need to have in order for you to be professionally prepared for those type of grants. So I'm going to share my screen in just a minute. But those type of grants do require you to be professionally established. But before I go there, it's important that you have clarity on exactly what steps or what stage you are in your company. Did you know, friend, there's stages to this thing. There's stages to business. For number 1, you have the stage that's called the idea stage. The idea stage of your business is when you have just dreamed about this idea. You have not registered the company through your state. You have not gotten the EIN number. You have not opened up the business bank account. You have not started a social media account or even got a website yet. So you are still in the idea phases. Now, if you have already registered the company, but you did not open the business bank account yet, friend, you are still in the idea phases in the way, okay? The day you start banking is the day that you actually start to become operational. That is your operational date when you start banking. Because when you start banking, the whole intention is to start receiving sales and generating revenue, right? So idea stages is when you have not really registered your company yet and you have not opened up your business bank account and you don't have an internet presence. Now, the next stage would be startup. So, which is pretty much everybody on this live stream. The startup phases is you have already registered your company through the state and the IRS. You have actually opened up the business bank account. You might be in the process of completing your business website, but you do have a social media presence. So you have an internet presence somewhere, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever have you, okay? Now, you are in what's called startup phases. Now, just because you have not generated revenue yet, you're still in your startup phases. So that's okay. You are just getting started. Now, the next stage after startup would be small business. You are a small business, at just simple. The small business has already registered the company through the state and the IRS, already have the business bank account, already has a website and internet presence. So let's say you have a Google business profile, you have a social media presence. In addition to that, you are actually making sales. You are what's called a small business. In addition to you being a small business, you have less than 50 employees and you make less than, let's say, $2 million annually every year. Or, you make less than $200 annually, $2 million annually, sorry. So that's the startup, okay? Now, business, enterprises. Of course, if you are enterprise, you have more than 50 employees, you are making more than like $1.5 million annually. You are like you're booming, okay? You have most likely been in business for more than 2 years, okay? So those are the stages. So with everything that I just said, you're probably wondering to yourself, well, Shelby, depending on the stage, based off of the definition that you have just given me, Shelby, does that lessen my chances with small business grant opportunities? I already know you was thinking it, friend. So let me explain. When you are in the idea phases, there are idea phase grants, okay? So there are grants for you because you are in your idea phases. But those grant opportunities are quite low. There are also nationwide opportunities. So what I mean by that is those grants would be like, they don't mind you being in your idea phases. So you technically don't have to have your business registered yet or have a business bank account as of yet, but you plan on getting that by the end of the actual grant period, grant timeline. However, everybody is eligible. So everyone in the United States of America who has a business idea is eligible. So what that means is your competition is going to be high, okay? You are going to be like, there's going to be a lot of people that's applying for that opportunity. So keep that in mind, all right? So everybody has a business idea. Everybody does. So anybody who has a business idea that is based in the United States, yes, you do have grant opportunities, absolutely, but they do not come as often for like how they do for startups and small business owners. Startups and small business owners have a plethora of small business grant opportunities because there is always going to be a grant opportunity, whether it's business entity funded like through Amazon and Walmart and Apple and Google, or whether it's through their state or through a private investor. There will always be multiple grant opportunities for startups and small business owners, especially small business owners. And in 2026, I actually see more small business grants becoming available because they actually want you guys to already either start making sales or they want you to have some sort of growth in your business. So even if you're not making sales, they want to see how is your business growing. Some of you guys have tech businesses where you cannot make sales at the moment, right? And so sales is not really your main way of showing growth, but maybe signups is, right? How many users have you been able to get? Or maybe the progress of your development is the way that you show growth. Like you might be in beta testing, or what phase of your research and development are you in? So keeping that in mind, they just simply want to see growth. Over the weekend, I had an amazing conversation in a consultation, a grant eligibility consultation with a client. She actually joins us on YouTube. So, hey, friend, I hope you're watching. And I did ask her some very probing and direct questions because I wanted to know how is she actually showing growth and traction with her business. Now, she started her business in 2024 and she has not made sales yet. She's kind of been slowballing it. Now, sometimes that can be a red flag for funders because they want to know, why did you actually purchase and register your company, pay the annual fees, open up a business bank account, do all of this stuff just for you to like go a whole 2 years without actually making revenue? It just kind of looks like you're not prioritizing your actual business, which in truth, that is what is going on. You are most likely prioritizing your 9 to 5 because you feel that it's secure income to pay your bills, but you're actually not prioritizing the business. So at this moment, when you are asking for funding, why should we believe that you are actually ready to prioritize this business and that you would actually use this funding to go towards your business development growth instead of pocketing the money? Because based off of your timeline, it just kind of seems like, I don't know, you might use some of this grant money for like your bills or pay off your own personal debts. So Keeping that in mind, that if you have opened up your LLC, you have not generated sales, or you can't show any business growth since like 2024, well, we need to have a conversation, because I want to reassure you on how you can actually answer that question, where the grant application asks, what is your business traction? How can you show business growth? Okay. So I asked her those questions, and I said, well, what have you been doing so far to pretty much grow your business? Now, she has an adult daycare, and she's based out of Florida. So because of the specific regulations, she cannot have things like a website or a social media presence to market her business. However, what she has been doing is word of mouth. She already works in the field as like a nurse or so, in like a assisted living facility, or she's already a HHA, so a home health agent. So she's already been speaking to, her actual clients, and the other caretakers. Like, she's already been, doing word of mouth. So I asked her, how do you actually keep track of those conversations that you're having with your clients and with the other people that you work with, right, that you're marketing your business out to, that could potentially be interested in signing their families up in the future? Well, she said, actually, I'm not keeping track of that. That is very key. Anybody who you have a conversation with, whether it's word of mouth or through social media, it's very important that you start to build an email or a contact list. Because when it comes time for your grand opening or your launch, you need to be able to reach out directly to those people. You understand what I'm saying? Cool. Awesome. Do I have any questions so far about what I'm saying? Any questions about what I just said? So yes, there will always be grant opportunities available. Even through COVID, there were small business grants available. No matter what is going on economically, there will always be a small business grant available, simply because for those big companies and those private investors that give out small business grant money, for them on the back end for taxes, they're able to show how much rewards they have given out in charitable rewards and gifts. So they report that on their taxes, and it helps them have certain specific tax cuts. So there will always be small business grants available. Now, federally funded opportunities, now that does determine on how the actual economy is growing. But there will always be a small business grant opportunity. So I wouldn't feel like, oh, well, because of whoever's in presidency, or because of whatever's going economically going, there's no funding opportunities available. So I'm just gonna, not go for them or whatever. Right now, I'm gonna put the business on hold. No, absolutely not, friend. Don't allow yourself to go into a negative mindset and be consumed about what you see on social media, when everything's an algorithm. They want to continue to push out this propaganda and this media and all this good stuff. But for you, you must continue to have an ambitious person, a resilient and optimistic mindset about what you are building, okay? Because your destiny and your journey is different from everybody else's, okay? All right, so awesome. Another question we have here: are there grants specifically for trucking? So yes, but it all depends on exactly what your entire mission is. This grant that I'm actually going to go over, the $100,000 grant, it could actually be potentially for your type of business. So I can't wait to bring it up. The $100,000 grant we're going to talk about, you might be able to qualify for it. It really all depends on when you are in an industry like trucking, real estate, even auto sales, right? What your ultimate mission is. A lot of you guys, Drums Lewis 8332, a lot of you guys when you're going for funding, you're like, well, I just need this because I need to buy another truck. I need this money because I need supplies and equipment. I need this because I need payroll. I need payroll money. I need this. I need that. While we understand what your needs are, when you are going for small business grants, you must be a mission-driven, community impact type of business. So what does that mean? You must be in the mindset of, I want to revolutionize the way the trucking industry works. Let's say you have been actually driving trucks for the last 10, 15 years under another company, and you've actually noticed that there can be some like changes, and so a couple of things can tighten up based off of where we are currently in tech with technology, and also by the way that you do things. So let's say you want to create a whole new platform, an app that streamlines and makes things so much more effective and efficient and easier to access load boards and connect load boards with the actual, the truckers, right? Even people who are doing things like moving companies, and they want to do small moving gigs, right? So let's say you want to create a app or a platform that actually caters to that, right? Let's say you want to create a specific platform that teaches others who are, let's say, ages 17 and older, and it teaches them and it gives them the education about how to get their CDLs, and then they can actually get their CDLs virtually through this platform. Let's say you want to actually create some sort of handheld watch or device that is going to be able to detect when a driver is falling asleep, and what it does is it shakes or it vibrates or it sends an alert directly to the your dispatcher, so the dispatcher can call in and say, hey, wake up, so that way it there won't be any accidents. It keeps accidents low. All of the examples that I gave you are actually being innovative, right? And creating different platforms and tech things that would be able to be revolutionary and innovative in your particular industry. Also, it's showing commitment into increasing, right, the quality of care in your community as well, or in your industry. So if you care about the industry, right, the trucking industry, and something that you've always said to yourself, well, I want driving to be easy, right? I want driving to be easy. I want this entire process to be easy. I want to be able to show, young kids or whatever have you, that this is an easy road. It's not hard at all. It's good money, whatever have you. Well, if that is your goal, right? If your goal is to do something like that, then when you're answering the grant questions, you need to be mission driven, and you need to explain how you're going to use the money towards investing into those things like payroll, your regulatory fees, and getting another truck, and how you're going to be able to be impactful by having those things. Okay, especially when you're doing something revolutionary like creating a new tech device that's going to determine whether you are sleeping on the road and it's going to connect directly to dispatch. You understand? So you can explain thoroughly how that's going to actually help save lives and get the loads there quicker and be more reliable, right? So yes, there will always be grants for the trucking industry as well. It all depends on exactly what your mission is. If you have the thought process that is like, I just want the money, I don't have nothing so robust, I don't have that mindset, then honey, do not go for small business grants. Hang it up, friend. Don't go for it. Small business grant opportunities are specifically for entrepreneurs who want to be innovative and impactful to their community that they're serving. If you have a product or a service and you want to help persons like who have a skin condition, but you have created something that is so amazing and so soft for your skin that it actually changes your entire skin condition within the next 30 days or 3 weeks, then you have a community of people that you're serving, right? Same thing like for those of you who are into taxes and stuff, if you want to be able to provide tax information and financial education to your clients, you want to be able to do something to give back to them, right? Then you have a community that you want to be impactful to, right? So that's all I'm saying. So yes, there is grants for you all. Please help me with grants. Absolutely. If you scan this QR code right here, I will apply to a grant for you for just $37. I also have a $50 one-on-one consultation. It's down in the description below, okay? Please like the video. Thank you so much, friend. I really do appreciate you for being here with us. So Musa says, I'm a children's book author. Is there grant money available for help with publishing and teaching others to become an author? Yeah, absolutely. So why not? So artist grants, so creative grants for creatives. So like yourself, when you are an author, you're an artist, you are into fashion, you are into anything that is creative, and also you're doing something that's education. Absolutely. There is grants for you, okay? So why not go for small business grants? Explain to them on the application exactly what your company does. You guys create children's books, and you also want to be able to teach others how to become an author in the entire process. You explain to them what these systems and softwares you will be using, how much it costs for you to be able to teach others how to be an author, and also how much publishing and all of that good stuff costs as well, okay? So yes, there will be grants for you as well. So I'm going to tell you in just a minute where you can actually find those specific grants, okay? All right, and I would like a 101. Hi, Christina. Thank you so much for being here. I thank God. Give glory to all the glory goes to God. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so if you want to book a consultation, the actual consultation link is in the description below. If you're watching me on your cell phone, you can tap on the screen. It should bring up description. It's like a small hyperlink. and there's a Calendly link for you. It is $50, but I would love for us to strategize together and let me help you get ready for any type of funding that you're going for. Thomas says, I have an established business. I have an established business wants to expand by purchasing a commercial property. Thanks. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Commercial properties, when you have an established business like so, you would go for what's called federal funding. So that is grants that are like federally funded through the United States government. Um, you want to get a commercial property, so you will have to provide all of the necessary documentation that expresses exactly who your builders are, who are you contracting with. So you need to have all of that documentation. You can visit grants.gov to find those grants. So let's actually talk about where I find these grants, okay? So a lot of the grants that you guys are talking about, grants for trucking, grants for for writing a book and helping those become authors, grants for if you are opening up your own assisted living facility, grants for if you are into commercial properties, grants for whatever business you have. No matter what business you have, there is actually going to be a small business grant available for you. So where do I find these grants? I just posted the link here in the chat, and I'll put it here on the screen. You can visit grantwatch.com, grantwatch.com, okay, grantwatch.com. Let me see if I can, I'm going to try to turn my VPN on, so let's see if we can visit GrantWatch so I can kind of walk you through it. And drop all of your questions in the chat. You have an 11-year experience, multi-million-dollar winning grant writer here live on YouTube. So please use me to your advantage, and any questions that you might have, please drop them, or curiosities, drop them in the chat. Okay, friend? So grantwatch.com is my favorite grant search engine. The reason why is because it's so easy to find grants. There's thousands of grants that they post on a daily basis. And also, in order for you to have access to the direct, the grant information, so the actual direct grant application link, who they're looking for, so the qualifications and stuff, you do have to pay $50 a month for the grantwatch.com subscription, okay? Yes, grantwatch.com is not free. It's $50 a month or $20 a week. I'll say that again. It's $50 a month or $20 a week for grantwatch.com. So keep that in mind, okay, friend? So grantwatch.com is a place where you can find all of those grants for no matter what your business industry is, no matter what ethnic group you personally are a part of. If you are a veteran, if you are a person with disability who is an entrepreneur, you can find grants. If you are a minority, if you are a woman entrepreneur, if you are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, no matter what, all right, if you're in the medical field, whatever have you, you can actually find grants using grantwatch.com. Grantwatch.com is a grant search engine, so you can literally find grants using that search engine, okay? Grantwatch. I was trying to bring it up here for you. I guess it's not coming up. So yeah, okay, that's where I find all of these grants. You can always visit there. So for those of you who are like our friend Thomas here, who's into like commercial real estate, if you are trying to revitalize a urban, underserved, underrepresented area, if you are into something like marine biology, if you are into the medical field, if you are doing something that is very robust and you have been in business, let's say for more than 5 years, okay, then grants.gov is where you would go to find your grants, okay? Grants.gov would be the place where you would actually find for yourself, all right? Awesome. So that's for you guys who are well established. Those are where you would find high ticket grants, $400,000 and more. Those big grants would be grants.gov. They're federally funded. So because it is funded by the like either through the state or by the federal government, keep in mind that there's going to be multiple documentations that you will have to provide. Last week I went over a $400,000 grant that is federally funded. You guys got to see that there was over 13 documents that you needed to have to upload for those particular grants. Yes, I applied to those grants. That particular grant that I went over last week, and I can show it to you guys here if you want me to show you an example of what a $400,000 grant looks like. But those particular grants, I'm actually writing those grants for those grant types for my client who actually owns 2 medical clinics in Florida. and he's been in business for 30 years. You understand? So he's literally, him and like, you know, like he's well established, okay? And so those are quoted. Of course, he's not paying me $37 to submit those type of grants. Absolutely, they are quoted for sure. Okay, so those grants take a lot more time and attention. But for these, for the $37 offer, if you want to scan the QR code, I'll submit a grant for you for $37. These are grants that normally I'm talking about on YouTube. You know, something very direct and quick. It doesn't require so much documentation. It's mainly for startups and small business owners. Okay. All right. So Anthony says, good morning, Superior Shelby. Good morning, Anthony. I pray that you are having a great kickstart to your second week of February. And this is the Love Week. Saturday is Valentine's Day, so all love. There is a grant called the Imagine Next Challenge. I do not know how much it, such as, okay, so I do not know much about it. Okay, so there you go. I do not know much about it, such as award amount, its legitimacy, and etc. Have you heard of this grant program? So no. But I can always take a look at it. So the this grant called the Imagine Next Challenge. Have you actually Googled it? I want to know, like, what did you do to learn more about the grant, right? Because, you know, we should do research. So what did you do to learn more about it? One thing, and that's a really good thing that you said here in this question. You don't know about its legitimacy, so let me reassure you. All right, so when you come across a grant that and you want to know if this grant program is actually legit, you can always visit the grants program social media platforms, or you can go through the actual grant blog page, and it should show you the previous winners from the previous grant round. So it should show you like 2025 winners, 2024 winners, and it should also tell you statistics on their actual growth. So you have some grants where it says we have awarded over $21 million since 2020. All right, and here are our past winners. Okay, so you can always reassure yourself by doing the necessary research it is, and you can see if they have actually funded someone before. And once you have found the company, then why not do an extra step and go to the actual company's social media page or Google them? A lot of the times those companies, they will post that they actually won a grant from that specific grant program. Okay, so yeah, the award amount, all that good stuff. I mean, I would say just Google it. Google Imagine Next Challenge and see if it comes up, right? Why not? All right, so any other questions before we go over the $100,000 grant opportunity and the $10,000 grant that you can actually use? All right, so when you sign up for the $50 a month, is it ongoing until you get the grant? So the $50 a month through grantwatch.com is so you can have access to the grant information based on the grant that you are interested in. Let me break it down in a much simpler form because I probably just said a lot there. The $50 a month goes to grantwatch.com so you can have access to the grant information. So you can always visit grantwatch.com and search for grants, but when you click on a grant specifically that you're interested in, it will not give you any additional information like the name of the grant, the application link, and so forth. So you will have to pay the $50 a month fee so that way you can have access to it. Now, it's not $50 until you actually win the grant. Absolutely not. Winning the grant is no 100% guaranteed, but grants, the grantors, is solely up to their discretion on who they choose to win the opportunity. So it's very important you know that grants is not your main small business grants. Depending on your sense of urgency, it would not be like your top priority as far as in funding. It's something that you must submit one grant application every day, and as time goes by, if you win, that's great. If you don't, that's also great as well. You didn't lose out on anything, okay? Versus going for a loan where you have to run your credit and all that stuff. But it's very important that you understand how this grant world works. Also, so no, that's not how it works, okay? So it's just like Netflix. It's a subscription. It's however long you want to keep the subscription. That's the whole entire point. So let's say you decide that you want to keep the Grant Watch subscription only for 30 days because you only want to apply to grants for 30 days. Well, pay the $50 and that's it. All right. It's a pay as you go service. I hope that answers your question. Good morning, Shelby. Great information as always. The pitch for this grant is a live video, not AI, correct? So the pitch for this grant is a live video, not AI, correct? So I haven't went over the grant as of yet. So thank you so much for joining in. But yeah, so I'm gonna go over it in a minute and then we'll see. What I would suggest for me personally, I've done over 20 pitches, and I never use AI. Why would I? Because I'm the founder of the company. And in most cases with pitch competitions and just pitches in general, when you're asking for investment capital, they want to know the founder. They want to know who you are. They want to know your story. Why did you actually start this business? What problem did you come across and you found the solution to it? And now you're providing the solution as a service to your community. Right? So I'm so happy and excited to talk about my business, and I'm not afraid at all because scared money don't make any money, friend. So why not? Nobody can explain my business idea and how I'm building my company better than me, not even AI. So yeah, I would never use AI personally for any pitches. I would use myself. And if I have a team, let's say for Grantfully, I have a research and development team. There's more than just me, right? I have an entire board. Some of you guys who are a part of my Grantfully community, you have met Barbara, who's my chief marketing officer. You have met Dean, who does the whole, he actually runs all of the development. So I have two to four other people that actually do the developments for Grantfully, the platform itself, who does the front end and all this tech stuff, right? So I have a team of people of at least, and then I have the grant writers, right? So at least 10 or more. So if I get testimonies from them about how they feel about the Grantfully platform and how the Grantfully platform is going to revolutionize having access to grants and also access to affordable grant writing, well, there's no one who can actually explain the reasons for why I created the Grantfully platform better than me. I created it because I went through my own debt challenges in business. I mean, you're looking at a girl who took out a $200,000 SBA loan pre-COVID, before COVID even happened. And then when COVID happened, think about how hard it was to pay it back. But I got a grant that actually helped me pay back those business debts, right? So because I've had that experience, I've been super compassionate and passionate about sharing this information for free. So the last 7 years, I've actually been talking about small business grants. Nobody can explain my business idea and the compassion I have for my business development and what I'm creating better than me. No AI can do that, all right? So, and it's important to know that when you watch shows like Shark Tank, you don't see AI. AI, they are not rolling out an AI robot. They are not using an AI anything. They themselves have to go in front of Mark Cuban, Damon John, all of the other like sharks, and they themselves have to be creative and be very direct about what they are building. Okay, so no, I personally, this is just me. I'm not giving you any advice. It's all up to you. But if you have been using AI, let's say AI videos like VO3 and all of these other AI platforms to create these like AI videos too, for pitch videos, if you haven't been winning grants, then think about maybe not using AI, right? They probably want to know who you are and know directly what's the whole purpose of you starting your business. Meaning AI created twin. Yeah, no, I wouldn't use it. No matter what. Because for what? Because why? Because the AI twin is like, no, absolutely not. One of my pitch videos, I literally just had a regular outfit. I was sitting in the back of my Airbnb that I had when I visited Tampa last year, and yeah, like I submitted it and it did very well. It did very well. I don't have I don't have to use AI twin. I don't have to use all of that at all. AI, at the end of the day, it's still based on your delivery. My facial expressions, all of that good stuff. For me, I just know how to deliver. But it's all up to you, friend. All right, it's all up to you. I don't put all of my eggs in one basket when it comes down to artificial intelligence. It's artificial intelligence. Shelby is a real person. I guarantee it. Well, thank God. Thank you so much for the confirmation. as many will or have tried it using an AI twin. Yeah, I mean, I'll look to you guys, but I don't put all my eggs in one basket at all when it comes down to AI. Also, I'm just, I just don't want, I want AI to be very limited on exactly me. You understand? I don't want to give AI the permission to use my face to do nothing. As that, to me, that terrifies me. For you guys, you might be more open-minded to it, but I have my own conspiracies about it, so it's all up to you. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over the $100,000 grant, and then we're going to go over another $10,000 grant as well. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. All right, so this one is called the 2026 Freedom Tech Pitch Competition. This is for tech companies, but we're going to go scroll through. A lot of you guys are building tech companies, financial tech companies. You're building certain platforms and gadgets that's going to help us out and help us be more effective and efficient in life, and just be more, just make our lives more, what do I want to say, just more easier, right? So the Freedom Tech Pitch Competition. Don't be afraid of pitches, okay? Pitching is literally you standing in front of somebody or doing a virtual call with someone and giving them 1 minute of their time, of your time, and tell them exactly who you are, what your business is about, why you started it, and how an opportunity could actually help out. Okay. We didn't go over. I just noticed we didn't go over the things that you need to have before we start. Before you go for a grant, so I'll bring that up as well. All right, so it says, are you building tech that disrupts and decimates human trafficking? Question mark. This is just a question. The application deadline date is February 12th, and the winner will be announced March 11th. Austin is going to be in Austin during South by Southwest. If you don't know, South by Southwest is like a big event. This application takes 10 to 15 minutes. A $100,000 award for early stage startups using technology to encounter human trafficking and child exploitation, which is awesome. All right, so imagine building some some sort of tech cameras that can detect night vision at night in those pitch black areas, right, in New York City, let's say. Freedom Pitch is a startup competition built to identify and accelerate scalable technology that combats human trafficking and child exploitation. We're looking for founders building real solutions that can protect children, disrupt trafficking networks, and strengthen detection, prevention, and survival flourish. So finalists will also receive elevated visibility to ecosystem leaders and mission-aligned capital, opportunities to build strategic partnerships across any anti-traffic operators and platforms, a stage to showcase their solution in front of industry decision makers. Okay, so this is cool. This is actually funded by Eagle Freedom Fund too. So their priority solution areas. We welcome startups across the counter trafficking ecosystem, including but not limited to child safety and child safe tech. So child safety, child safe tech. Let's say you're going to create something that's new that goes with that could even be something like what is it? Those car seats. It can be something that goes for car seats as well. Labor trafficking detection and prevention. So something that goes in the hospital, of course. Once you deliver a baby, can you is there something you can provide? Let's say supply chain transparency, AI, signal detection, all that good stuff. Survivor services and survivor flourishing, fintech, crime, hospitality and lodging. So let's say you are going to create a tech device like a Ring camera that's very small that you can put at the door of every hotel lock, right? For every hotel lock, and it detects when a person is going to come in and come out. It also detects when a person is jamming at the door and trying to get in. So that actually will alert the front desk, right? Which could possibly lower the chances of anything happening. Transportation and logistics, aviation and travel, law enforcement and investigation, foster care, child welfare systems, online exploitation, and more. This is the timeline. Now, I always get this question a lot, Shelby. When will you be funded by a grant? Every grant has their own specific timeline. So you can apply to a grant right now, like for example, this one. The application deadline date is February 12th, which means you need to submit the application by February 12th. This application only takes up to 15 minutes, so literally you can submit it today if you qualify for this. Now, the top 3 finalists will be invited to the dinner in Austin, Texas during South by Southwest. And then the winner will actually be announced by March 11th, okay, at the Eagle Freedom Fund dinner, okay? So this is the actual timeline. So by March 11th is when you will be announced. The actual funding that gets deposited into your bank account, that would be specified on March 11th as well, okay? So every grant has their own timeline. The $400,000 grant explanation, example that I went over last week, that is like a 6 to 12 week process. It's so much money, you understand? So they need time to process your documentation and to actually do specific verifications. So keep those things in mind. You have some grants where they have quick turnaround times, where they, within 30 days, they will let you know if you are actually selected, and then where, they will ask you where they can actually put those funds at, okay? So keep those things in mind. So you can visit Eagle Venture Fund if this is for you. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat for you guys, okay? Okay, I'll put the link in the chat for you. I gotta move closer because I need my thing here. Okay, so any questions, drop them in the chat for me. Okay. We're good? Okay. I need to plug up my laptop. I'm on my laptop. Okay, so the link is in the chat. And here is the link as well, Eagle Venture Fund. All right, so that was the $100,000 grant opportunity. So let me move forward to the $10,000 grant. If you have never opened up a business bank account, this would actually be a really good grant for you. This grant is actually sponsored by Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank is a business, it's a bank account that you can open. It's been around for a long time. They actually are really good with minority accounts. So if you are Black, person of color, indigenous, if you're a woman, Citizens Bank has a lot of great perks for us. So they are giving out a $10,000 grant. They actually give out this $10,000 grant quite often. So let's go through and let's read it. All right, so this is called Community Champion Award. It says enter to win a $10,000 Citizens Small Business Community Champion Award. All right, so this is $10,000. Tell us how your small business supports your community and how you can be one of 20 Citizens Bank business banking customers to receive $10,000 and a 1-year Luminary membership for access to resources, tools, and networking. To enter, click enter now. Spreading the joy in the community, celebrating their neighbors, creating the next generation of workers. Small businesses positively impact communities in countless ways, and contested winners will be selected based on the perceived effectiveness of their use of prize money to strengthen their business and uplift their community. You have a link here, as you can see, it says, please see the official rules for more details. The official rules is going to tell you how they are actually judging you on the grant answers that you put on the application. The official rules is going to tell you the grant timeline, so when you should be announced as the winner. The official rules is going to tell you more about when you should receive the deposit from the $10,000. Okay, they are choosing 20 of you guys. In order for you to actually, have access to this $10,000 grant opportunity, you need to be a small business, a Citizen Small Business banking customer. So if you do not have a small business bank account yet, I highly advise by Friday, go to Citizens Bank. If you don't know a Citizens Bank anywhere near you, visit their website, give them a call, go ahead and open up an account via phone call or online if they like to do that. And then once you have opened up the account, You don't even have to wait on the actual debit card itself. Go ahead and visit citizensbbc.com. I'll put the link in the chat here for you. Go ahead and visit, the link and apply to this $10,000 grant opportunity. Why not? It's $10,000 for all of the small business banking customers that are with Citizens Bank. Okay, so this is the grant that I'm actually going over. Why not? Absolutely amazing grant opportunity. So let's click on the official rules. What does that look like? So it's telling you here. Oh, you actually have by, says, yeah, you have by tomorrow, Grant. So for those of you who, I don't know if this is like the deadline date, entry period, small business begins and on, okay, so it started on the 20th and let's see on the contest period. So this is making it kind of, so you have by tomorrow actually. So by February 10th is, so today's the 9th, you have by tomorrow. I just found this video honestly this morning. So all prices will be rewarded. So you have to be a Citizens Bank. You have to have a business bank account. Okay, so it says how to enter during the contest period. You visit the site and follow the directions, complete the online registration form. This is all the good stuff. And then it says, how would you use the Citizen Small Business Bank Awards? How would you use the $10,000, maximum 100 words? You do have to answer that question. How would you use the award? So how would you use it? And for growth and evolving needs and behaviors. So they are very specific with that. 100 words. Stretch form, limited one entry. Yeah, so this is all the good stuff. Contest guidelines. This actually explains to you, what they're looking for in your actual answers and what they're looking for in a good tested. Says all entries received will be judged by an administrator to determine 40 finalists based on the following criteria. So, effectiveness of the plan to utilize, that's 35% of your answer. Perceived effectiveness of entrance plan to utilize the prize to help, 35%. Perceived innovation and creativity, that's 30%. Finalists will be rejudged, and then they'll break it down from 40 to 20. And then they will let you guys know only 20 of you guys will receive $10,000. Okay, so that's how it works. So this is the general rules. It's important for you to click on these types of things because the official rules, because it reassures you on the timeline, like I said, and all of the details that you need to know. You need to know exactly how to answer the questions, because knowing how to answer the questions is actually going to help you increase your chances of approvals. If you've just been winging it and you have not been answering the questions and tailoring your questions specific to what they're looking for in the answers, also making sure that you use some keywords that they have in the actual grant mission to implement those keywords from the grant mission itself into your answers, then you're not giving yourself a really good chance. It's called creative writing skills. You gotta be very creative. Awesome. All right, question. Do you offer the service of doing the whole process like a daycare start? I don't understand your grammar. Do you offer the service of doing I think what you're asking is, do I offer the grant writing service? Yeah, I actually do. If you scan this QR code, I will submit a grant application for you for just $37. If you want something that's more in detail, more robust, right? If you are going for high ticket funding that's much more than $10,000, let's say that 100K or better, then I highly advise that you schedule a one-on-one consultation with me, because that is a quoted price, and I need to know exactly what your entire business mission is, and then we need to align it with a few the other grants that would fund your reasons for why you need funding. Okay. Great reminder about HelloSkip. HelloSkip is also increasing number of grants, including the 10K grant. This is awesome. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, I think that was your question. Do I offer the service? like a daycare start. I don't know what you mean by that, friend. All right, so we went over two really good grants. We went over the $100,000 pitch competition for tech companies that are helping those, keep down child, exploitation, human trafficking, things like that. And also, we went over the Citizen Small Business Grant. There is another $10,000 grant for all small businesses through insurance. I'm actually going to talk about that in a small, like a really quick 5-minute video. I will actually post this week, the middle of this week, so you will have access to that. The Citizen Small Business Challenge grant, you have 24 hours, literally February 9th to submit it. If you don't, then that's okay. There's so much more to come out. I want to take the rest of this time, the last couple of minutes of this live stream, to give you guys the floor. Any questions or concerns, curiosities about small business grants? If grants is really good for you, if there's any grants available for you, any questions that you might have, please feel free to drop them in the chat right now. I love an interactive chat, and use me as to your advantage, right? It's free information that I'm giving you. I have 11 years of experience. I have a 71% successful grant writing rate. So that means out of 1,000 clients that I would serve in a year, 71% of them actually get approved to one grant that I submit for them. I've won millions of dollars in small business grants. So I truly do know how to make sure that your answers are like direct and prepared for these grant opportunities. I do offer the grant writing service as well. And right now I have a $37 affordable grant writing offer where I will submit one of these small business grants for you for just $37. If you're interested, just go ahead and scan that QR code. If you would like to have a one-on-one consultation with me, it is a 1-hour Zoom call and it's $50. We actually do a lot. We talk about business strategies, where you currently are in your business, if small business grants is like a really good funding opportunity for you. And then I also ask you probing questions, so that way we can create a strategy together to actually start the ball rolling and actually start making sales, or at least showing growth, okay? Traction is everything in 2026 when we're talking about getting funding, all right? Can I just call or text the number provided? It's a bit complicated to scan the QR code while on phone. Actually, you could just literally screenshot it. So when we get off the live stream, you can just go to your photos. Especially if you have an iPhone, you can go to your photos and just tap the QR code. That is for the $37. Now this QR code is only for the $37 offer. In the description below is the actual direct booking link. I can also put the link here for you if you would like it. I don't take calls simply because I am currently in West Africa and it costs money, right, to be able to take calls. So I don't take calls at all right? Actually, it also costs me money to send you guys text. Here's my actual booking link if you want to take a screenshot of that as well, okay? Awesome. And you can screenshot that, and what else is it? Yeah, if you have an iPhone, you can simply just screenshot it, you go to your photos, tap and hold, and it will actually take you directly to the link itself. These iPhones and all of these technologies, they're so, like, they're so smart. So yeah. I saw something about you charging $37 to write a grant. Is this true? Absolutely. I will submit a grant application for you for just $37. I have this affordable option. It's called Grantfully. I have this affordable option to give you the chance at potentially winning and having someone professional submit a grant application for you. The whole entire purpose of this is to take the hassle and the time away from you having to submit the grant application yourself. So if you're interested, there is a QR code right here. You can scan it. You can actually screenshot it right now. And then when we get off the live stream, you can simply go to your photos, tap and hold, and then it should bring up the actual link for you. You can choose one of the grants that I have there on the link and, go ahead and make the $37 payment, okay? You all are very welcome. Any other additional questions? Yes, ma'am, I'm in. Awesome. Very good. Very, very good. We went over some really great things today. Don't be discouraged about going for any small business funding opportunities. This is actually the time. I really do believe, something tells me in my spirit and in my heart that if you do not take advantage of actually becoming an entrepreneur and get serious about it, that this is actually your last chance. Economically, things are changing, and especially politically, right before our eyes. It's no more time for you to actually continue to sleepwalk, or you don't want to prioritize it simply because you want to stay according to the order of capitalism. Okay, becoming an entrepreneur means you are actually going to go against the system, not go with the system. Becoming an entrepreneur, there is no actual blueprint to this because everybody's entrepreneurial journey is different. So go ahead, pull up your bootstraps, get ready for the ride, and get in the game. And trust God and have faith that everything is actually going to move forward in your favor, okay? Yes, you got to do this with God. You got to be God led, okay? Because there's no way that you'll be able to get through this and become multimillionaires and create free, financial freedom for your family without having God first, okay? You got to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and then move forward. But yes, this is the time now. And if you have been purposely allowing yourself to sleep, purposely keeping yourself away from certain types of information that you don't want to know about, I'm telling you right now, it even says in the Bible that it is ignorance that is going to make my people perish. And you are actually perishing, friend. Okay? And that doesn't mean go on YouTube and overload yourself with a whole bunch of information. That just means get focused, zone in, and create a pathway that works for you and your work ethic. And then ask questions. Don't be afraid, okay? But this is the time now. If you don't do it, all right? If you don't do it this year and you really don't prioritize being a startup or starting a business, we don't know what the next 5 to 10 years look like, especially with AI and robots coming out. So you got to get yourself in the game now so you can start creating innovative tools and be revolutionaries in your industry that you're getting into, so that way you can stay ahead of the game. It takes a specific wisdom and favor to be able to be at the forefront of certain things or to be successful. So this is not a joke. Okay, it's not a joke, and it's definitely a responsibility. If you're a person that has a challenge with taking on responsibility, then this might not be for you, and it's okay, right? But definitely become financially educated and do certain things to start saving money now, because things are going to get a little bit different. Can I get you to send one for my son for an additional $37? Yeah, absolutely. So you can just purchase it, and make sure you purchase one in your son's name as well, because it has to be 2 separate emails. Once you purchase the 37, should I walk you guys how this goes? Maybe I should walk you through it, right? I'm going to share my screen. Once you actually, great question. All right, so yeah, you can actually purchase it. I know it's the week of Valentine's Day, so if you guys have significant others, family, friends that you do care about and you love, and one way that you can actually show them that you love them and you care about them and you support them is actually purchase this $37 affordable grant writing service. That would be awesome, because you never know when that family member or that person, that loved one, actually has a chance of winning like $10,000 or even $150,000, and all you did was pay $37 for it. You understand? But you show commitment and you show them that you support their business. So let me bring up the actual link itself, and I'll walk you through it. It's coming up very slow, so bear with me. Okay, well, yeah, he's an adult. I would expect him to be, because you can't go for small business grants without being. You have to be like 18 years or older at least. Let's see here. So I'm going to bring up the link. I'll show you guys what it kind of looks like, so you can. All right, so when you get ready to actually pay the $37, all right, then what you do is, if you want to do multiple grants, like you can only select up to 3 grants, and these are the 3 grants that are available. You have the 20K Neighborhood Entrepreneur Grant. So this grant I talked about, I have a small short video about it that I just posted, but it's $20,000 that you get for any grant, for any small business that is community driven. So if you're going to do things like hire people in your community, if you're helping with persons with disabilities or seniors, anything like that, this is a really great grant for you. You would fill out the details here, and you will select yes, apply for me if you want me to apply to this grant. The rest you can actually just leave if you're only paying for one grant. Now, if you want to pay for 3 grants, then you would literally update the quantity of this. It will show you how much it will be, and then you can select yes, apply for me on all 3 of the grants that I have selected here for you. All right. This grant. I'm so happy we're in it. I gotta put this grant because this grant is supposed to be the $10,000 grant that I just went over. Not the citizens, the Zen business. So I'm gonna actually update this. So the $150,000 Zoom grant, I already went over that one. So yes, that's how it works. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I can put the link here in the chat if you need the direct link. But yeah. All right. There you have it. Once you have actually submitted the grant, the payment, then what you have, what I will do is I'm going to send you a confirmation email, and in the confirmation email, I'm going to ask you to complete a small Google form. I need the business name, address, phone number, all that details and stuff for the actual application, and I need to know about your business. So you'll fill out the Google form. Once you submit the Google form directly to me, I will have all I need to submit the grant. Once I'm done submitting the grant, I will send you a confirmation that shows you that I have completed the actual grant itself. Okay, so that's how the $37 thing, whole thing works. Any questions? This is amazing. I'm sending mine in soon Wednesday, and we'll be telling him to send his own. Okay, also no problem. God bless you guys. I'm all here for you. All right. Giving you time to drop any last minute questions. You both need to have an LLC already. Yeah, you definitely need to make sure that you are already established. You're not a startup if you don't have, if you haven't registered your company. You're in your idea phases. You're not a business yet. You're not a startup yet. Any other questions? Updated the link. So you'll see it there. Awesome. For those of you who have been texting me, they've been updating the system. And it's so annoying, but they've been updating the system. So I'm hoping today I'll be able to have access to texting, so that way I can text you all back. Because I know I have a lot of text messages I need to respond to you guys back with the links and stuff. So that's why I'm just putting the links on the live stream now. And also I put the direct link in the description, easier to click and have access to, instead of just, doing that, okay? He's trying to sell up Amazon. I already have mine. Awesome. Okay, that's great. So yeah, he's trying to. Well, that's your son. Allow your son to be able to join him. Actually, share my live streams to your son, and yeah, you can tell him about a grant opportunity. Maybe he needs to learn more about small business grants and have more of an understanding of what that looks like. Amazon themselves gives out a $10,000 grant opportunity. You must have an Amazon sellers account already established and already have something on there to sell. You cannot be a brand new seller's account that doesn't have anything to sell on there. Okay. The whole purpose of the Amazon sellers account is to help minority and underrepresented e-commerce businesses on their platform get the recognition that you deserve and to have the money that you need to invest. Right? So yeah, awesome. All right, so if there's no further questions and any curiosities about small business grants and all that good stuff, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for this 1 hour live stream. Keep in mind, this week I'm actually going to drop some short pre-recorded videos about other small business grants you can have access to. In the descriptions will be the actual links to those grants I talk about. Tomorrow, you can join me again tomorrow, same time tomorrow, which is awesome. We can continue our grant conversation, daily grant conversation like we do, except for Sundays. Sundays is for the Lord. And then if you want to have access or you want to take advantage of the $37 offer, don't forget the QR code right here. You can screenshot it and you can simply go to your photos once we're all done here. And also you can schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. The link is in the description down below, okay? You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. All right, bye-bye for now.